Have you ever felt like your gifts or talents are not being maximally utilized? Or have you ever felt suboptimal? Or have you ever felt like you're not achieving up to the levels that you're meant to be achieving? Well, to be honest, I felt that way before on numerous occasions. So, what then did I do? Or how did I overcome the situation? Let's have a look at the word of God. In Matthew 5:14, it says, "You are the light of the world, like a city set upon a hilltop. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a bushel or a bowl. Instead, it's put on a lampstand where it gives light to the whole house. Let your light shine before men so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." Now, I'm sure many of you are familiar with this particular Bible passage. So, if I ask, what word do you think is very significant in this Bible passage? Well, for me, one of the most significant words in this Bible passage is the word let. You might be wondering, how can a word let be so significant out of all of the words in that particular Bible passage? Well, if we have a look at the synonyms of the word let, it means to allow, to permit, or to authorize. Now, if we also have a look at the different times when God used the word let in the Bible, in the very beginning, when he said, "Let there be light," and at the instant it happened. When he created the heavens and the earth, at the instant, everything happened. On this occasion, the major difference is that the word is being used to and for mankind. Now, that is where the major difference is. With mankind, we have been given the power of choice. Now, if you read Deuteronomy 30, verse 19, it says, "Before you today, I lay down life and death," an option between life and death, blessings and curses, "and I call upon heaven to witness the choice you're going to make." This was when God was speaking to the children of Israel. Now, the book of Joshua also makes mention of the fact that if we don't worship the Lord, who then are we going to choose to serve? "As for me and my house, we would serve the Lord." I'm sure you're familiar with that particular Bible verse as well. So this, for me, shows that the word let, like I said, means to allow, to permit, or to authorize. So, and when it's used for mankind, it means that, the only person that's actually stopping you from shining is yourself. Now, this is where the crux of the matter is, right? It simply means that the deciding factor in whether or not your light is shining is actually you, right? And many of us are actually waiting validation from our friends, family, pastor, neighbors, close relatives before we actually let our light shine. Now, what does the word of God say in Romans 8, verse 19? It says, "Creation eagerly awaits the manifestation of the sons of God." Now, if creation is awaiting the manifestation of the sons of God, right, it means that the whole world is waiting for the gift that you carry. Someone out there is waiting for your gifts or your talent. Now, when you are revealed, you bring forth the gifts and the talents on the inside of you that blesses humanity, and in return also makes you wealthy in the process. So it's actually a win-win situation. You're going to be blessing a whole lot of people that need your gifts and talents, and you're also going to be getting wealthy in the process as well. So, like I said, it is a win-win situation. When God said, "Be fruitful and multiply," think about it for a second. Would he command us to be fruitful and multiply if he didn't already plant a seed inside of us? So God has actually planted a little bit of himself in the form of a seed on the inside of each and every one of us that's going to bless humanity, and in return also going to make us wealthy. So it pays to do the work of God. The work of God is versatile. It's in every field. It's in medicine, it's in sports, it's in entertainment, it's in fashion, it's in culture, it's everywhere. So we ask ourselves, how then can we let our light shine in 2025 and beyond? Well, there's 3 points that I have. They're non-exhaustive. And the first one, I think, is to be able to identify what we have in our hands. Now, if we have a look at a few examples in the Bible, Moses, he had that staff, that stick. And with that, he was able to part the Red Sea and lead the children of Israel out of captivity from the Egyptians. If we have a look at David, he had that sling and stone, and he was able to bring down mighty Goliath. If we also have a look at the widow of Zarephath, she was able to feed her home and Prophet Elijah because she made use of the little flour and oil that she had. Again, the other widow in 2 Kings chapter 4 made use of the little oil that she had to pay off her debts and to also sustain her home. Now, these, amongst other great men and women in the Bible, were people who were able to identify what they had in their hands. Now, you have something in your hands that God has placed, right? You might be looking at it as too small or even too big for it to make an impact for humanity. That is not your business at all. All you're required to do is put to use whatever God has placed in your hands for the good of humanity, which in turn would also make you wealthy. Now, the other point we have is to have faith. Now, the word of God in Proverbs 3 says that we should trust in the Lord with all our heart, lean not unto our own understanding, and we should acknowledge him in all that we do, because he's going to direct our path. Now, a few examples in the Bible. Abraham, he took his son Isaac and he was going to offer him up as a sacrifice, but God provided a ram. If we have a look at Noah, Noah was able to build that ark because he had great faith. If we have a look at Gideon, he was able to reduce the size of his army and still win the battle that he was involved in. Now, these, amongst other people as well, had great faith and were able to achieve great results because of the great faith that they have or that they had at the time. Now, if we have a look at the third point, which is obedience, we see that faith and obedience are intertwined because faith is a prerequisite for obedience. Now, when you have faith, it makes it a whole lot easier to obey. Now, think about it for a second. Is it possible for you to obey someone that you don't have any faith or trust in? Now, the reason why Noah was able to, obey God was because he had great faith in God. Reason why Gideon was able to obey was because he had great faith. Same with Abraham. All these men, amongst other men and women in the Bible, were able to achieve the results because they had great faith. And the ones who didn't have great faith, for example, Jonah, they weren't able to achieve the results that they desired because they didn't have faith, right? So obedience is very much tied in to faith. So if we refuse to shine, what's going to happen? Eventually, we're going to shrink. Now, that's not the plan that God has for us in 2025 and beyond. So we have no other option than to let our shine shine. I said we need to let our shine shine, baby, right? There's so much on the inside of you and inside of me. And we need to make sure that we bring down on here heaven on earth as it is in heaven. We need to let our shine shine. There is so much on the inside of you waiting to manifest for the glory of God. I pray that God gives you and I the strength and the courage to yield to his word so that we can all live fulfilling lives. 2025 and beyond, we're going to shine. Thank you once again for watching Generational Wealth TV. My name is Mr. Generational Wealth Transfer, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Let your shine shine.